What's going on, guys? Anthony here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about something that's been bothering me. I've had a couple comments over the last few months, people that I know that say that I should pick a trade, that I should just settle in on something and just do that one thing and stop jumping around. Well, today I want to get your feedback and I want to share with you my opinions about having one thing to do. For a lot of you guys that personally know me, you know I'm kind of all over the place, if I'm being honest. Most of you know I have a full service sign company called Fusion Graphics. I've got a store, supplement store called BeastRx. I'm a realtor, so that's crazy. I'm doing real estate stuff. I also own my own line of supplements called Priority Nutrition. And then obviously YouTube. For some of you guys that have known me for years and years and years, I've struggled with doing just one thing and doing it long term. It's always been really hard for me. Now there was a 6-year stretch where I did HVAC. And then even in HVAC, I wasn't satisfied with the position I was in. I'd start off, doing graphic design for a company, and then I'd move up into becoming the office, manager, and then customer service manager, and then service manager, and then I got into sales, and I was sales manager, and then I was general manager. I just kept moving up. At an early age, I figured out that I was not a fan of doing the same thing over and over and over. Now, there are a ton of people out there that's okay for them, and I'm happy for them that they can work a normal 9-to-5 or 8-to-5 job and go home and spend time with their family, and that's cool. I'm just not set up that way. Now, in my defense, I do always make sure that my family comes first. I always make sure that I've got time for them. They know that they are first in my life. And then everything else is just filler. Like I said, I learned at an early age, I could say probably for, the greater side of a decade, every 6 months I had a new job, and I was an electrician, and then I did drywall, and I did door-to-door sales, and I did waiting tables, and then I worked in a call center, and all these crazy jobs. Some were overnights, some were during the day, some were in the morning. I learned at an early age that it was really difficult for me to hold down the same job, and it wasn't because of lack of performance, lack of effort. Any job I've ever had, I always excelled at. On the shorter side of, say, 3 months of working inside of a job, I was being offered promotions. Always. It was something that I strived for. It's something that I lived for. It's something that I had to have. It was something that was embedded in me, and I just needed to know that what I was doing was working, and that I was valuable, that I was an asset to the company, and they were offering me an incentive to move up or offering me more money for the quality and performance. But it just wasn't enough for me. I wanted something different. I wanted a change. I wasn't a fan of the mundane, the everyday stuff. So fast forward years and years later, I got out of the HVAC industry and ended up opening up my own supplement store. My wife and I opened up BeastRx, and that was the first taste of being an entrepreneur, a real entrepreneur. Now, I've had Fusion Graphics, the sign company, graphic design, t-shirts, stuff like that. I've been doing that probably 10 to 15 years. I've had that, but it was always in the basement of my house. It wasn't anything I was just helping out friends, and it wasn't a legit business. So once we opened up BeastRx, it gave me the taste of entrepreneurialism, and I fell in love with it. Being able to call your own shots, control your own hours, everything that you did on a daily basis had a direct impact on how much money you can make, but it also had a direct impact on how many people you could actually help. And if you wanted to help more people, you make more money. It's a big circle, and it works that way. And then moving into opening up my own supplement line, and then real estate. Real estate's something I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. I enjoy in-home sales. I love the experience. I love helping people build something or get into something that they just didn't think they could. So here's where I digress on the whole thing. It's kind of a rude awakening, and it's an eye-opener with the crisis that we're in right now. There's a lot of people that had a normal job and that was taken away from them. They're on unemployment. I mean, $600, however much that is right now, $600 a week. Like for me, like there's no way I could ever survive off of $600 a week. Now like I said, there are people out there that can do that, and it's cool. In fact, there's a lot of people that are making more money on unemployment than they would have if they just stayed working, like waiting tables or something like that. Like for me, it's not enough. And to be honest, like I would go stir crazy if I was at home 24 hours a day and not being able to work or do something with my time. I'm just not built that way. I couldn't do it. So with the current situation that we're in, I'm thankful that I've got multiple streams of revenue. I've got income coming in. So, you know, when BeastRx, when we normally do $1,200, $1,300 a day, and now we're sitting at $300 a day, $400 a day, that's a massive, massive hit. Good news is it's just enough to keep the lights on and pay the bills. Bad news is my personal bills aren't paid. So now like I've got to look for other streams of income so I can dip into Priority Nutrition. So our Amazon sales went through the roof and we made a lot more money through that. Obviously, like people aren't coming to the stores, but they're still ordering online. Our online sales for BeastRx improved, and that's cool. And then you got to look at like real estate, like earning additional income from real estate. That is a huge, huge factor. And then Fusion Graphics. So I'm making more t-shirts now than I have in a long time, and doing graphic design and logos and signage and all that stuff. Like that's really cool, like really, really cool. So I'm able to maintain our lifestyle and continue to pay all of our bills and build for our future. So there's nothing wrong with that. And here's my advice to you guys out there. Right now is the best time ever. And outside of this crisis that we're in, last couple of years, like it's the best time ever to become an entrepreneur, to do something that you love, to follow your dreams, to follow your passions. No one can stop you. No one can hold you back. You could do anything that you want to do as long as you put the time and the effort into it, and you can succeed. Like you look back 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it was not cool to be a small business owner. It was not cool to be an entrepreneur. It was not cool to go against the grain and defy what corporate asks you to do. It just wasn't okay. It wasn't acceptable. But now, today, it is. You can do anything that you want. So I am taking full advantage of that. I'm 40 years old. I don't particularly want to be slanging sups for the next 20 years until I'm 60 years old and I'm still working in a retail store. Like I'm perfectly fine with owning it and being available to anybody that needs my help. I just don't want to do the day-to-day moving forward. So real estate has always been my fallback. That's something that I know that I can excel in, something that I can build a future on towards retirement. I can sell houses, help people at the same time, build income, and reinvest that into real estate, and then that can pay me later, pay me, my wife, and my kids. So that's really what it's all about. Fusion Graphics, the graphic design of things, the marketing, the advertising, like I've got a creative mind for that stuff, and I've always enjoyed that. I don't think I'll ever stop doing that. It may become something different. It may not always be just Fusion Graphics. It may be just a service that I provide to some of my customers. I don't know. So yeah, I've got my hands in a little bit of everything, but I encourage you to do the same thing. Right now, it's kind of like a big giant reset for the entire world, particularly right here in the United States. If there's something that you've ever wanted to do, you've got the time, you've got the downtime to start creating that for yourself. No one in their right mind will ever tell you having a secondary source of income is going to be a bad thing. People are saying that I need to pick a trade. I'm all over the place. Like, I get it. It's just not for you. You know, I'm speaking directly to you. It's not for you. You wouldn't get it because it's not in your DNA. It's not in your blood. There are a lot of you out there that get it, that understand it. You've got side hustles. You're doing everything you can to survive, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, guys, so that is my 2 cents on having additional streams of income. I think it's super important. Listen, if you want to hate on me because I've got all these things going on, I get it. That's fine. Like I said, it just wasn't meant for you. All right, guys, so that is it for today's episode. I appreciate your time, effort, love, and support. We've got a video coming out within, I'd say, about a week or so of like an insanely epic boot camp that we served. Oh my God, I can't wait till you see this. For those of you that know, you know. All right, guys, get out there and do something epic like we always do. We'll see you on the next video. Peace, guys.